Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langhayate girim Yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna. Anyone remembers what we discussed last class? Can you put it in spotlight? Yes, anyone remembers what we
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, one by one. Yeah, very fast.
So first we discussed about stress. That
Okay.
stress is very important.
Okay.
Important in life. It's neither positive nor negative.
Okay, so we discussed about stress. Put it in spotlight. We discussed about stress and how stress is important, and it is not positive or negative. Yes, anyone else? Anyone else?
How stress is coming by the expectation.
By expectations. If we have unrealistic expectations, stress doesn't come from expectations. We must have expectations. But if we have unrealistic expectations, then stress comes. Yes, we were discussing about that. Stress is equal to expectation minus reality. If there is a difference between the reality and expectation, that creates stress. Yeah. Anyone else?
We should realize that everyone is unique and we shouldn't be comparing ourselves with any other person.
Yeah, very good, very good, very good. This is a very nice point. We were discussing about not comparing and with others, rather counting on the blessings that we have received. How we are unique and we must count on the blessings that we have received. Yeah, this is another point. Yes, anyone else? Yeah, one more.
We also talked about Bhagavad Gita doesn't change the rules of life, it changes our experience.
Yeah. So Bhagavad Gita will not change your problems. Bhagavad Gita will change the experience of what you are having or facing in life. Yeah. Anyone else?
That is the bridge of scripture.
Yeah. In the end, we were discussing how Bhagavad Gita speaks about how it is a bridge and how it is a bridge to cross the river of problems in our life. Right? Correct? So there is a river. You can cross it by swimming and you can cross it by taking a bridge. Which is easier? By taking a bridge. Taking a bridge. So that's what Bhagavad Gita is. And today's session we'll discuss about the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And today's session, as you had already seen, we had shared the screen, is perceptions and perspective. How perceptions and perspective, they define our life and redefine our life. They first define and then redefine. We will discuss on it. As of now, everyone keep muted, and I request Bikram to ensure that everyone is keeping muted. Okay, make Bikram
Yes,
co-host. Is he co-host?
Yes,
okay, so you have to ensure that everyone is muted, and only when they are speaking they have to unmute. Okay, so I will give you in the beginning an understanding of why this is important. The first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the title entitled, the chapter title. Anyone knows what is the chapter title of the first chapter in English? Okay, anyone? Yeah. Unmute.
युद्ध क्षेत्र का निरीक्षण.
Okay, Yuddha Kshetra ki Nirikshan. Very good. Observing the armies. That's the first chapter. So, observing the army. See, because we have these eyes, we keep on observing. We cannot stop observing. But our observation is very much dependent on our perspective. So, the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita tells us what is right observation, what is wrong observation, what is right perspective, what is wrong perspective. And there are three personalities who are having wrong observation of the armies. The first personality is Dhritarashtra. The second one is Duryodhana. The third one is Arjuna. Three personalities are described in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita who are observing. But they are observing based on their perspective. And how perspective is important. So how perspective defines us. You see, this is a very beautiful bride. I searched in internet to search for a very beautiful bride. This lady is so nicely decorated, looking very nice, cute, and with a lot of ornaments and all. Imagine this lady goes out in a dark forest where she is lost. And in that dark forest, in the night, she is somehow lost. She encounters a tiger. How the tiger will see this lady?
As a prey.
How the tiger will see the lady?
As the food.
As the food. As dinner. Oh God, Krishna has sent dinner to me. Yes. Now imagine the same lady, a burglar meets the lady, a dacoit. How the lady will be seen? What the dacoit will see in the lady?
He will see the ornaments.
He will see the ornaments in the lady. You will not see the lady as dinner prasad. He will see the lady as the ornaments he is wearing. Correct? Now imagine a lost child sees the lady who is also lost. What the lost child will see in the lady? Mother. Is the lady changing in all three situations? The lady is same, understand. The lady is actually the same lady. For the child, the lady is same. For the burglar, the lady is same. For the tiger, the lady is same. The same lady meets with three personalities, but all three personalities see her in different way based on what perspective we have. That is how the world is simply a mirror of our own consciousness. What we see in this world depends on our perspective. It may or may be the reality. And Bhagavad Gita will help us to come to this reality by first showing what is wrong perspective. Bhagavad Gita in the first chapter, that's why we will say how we can observe the world in a wrong way. It will say 3 P's. We will see 3 P's today. We will see 3 P's. How 3 P's of wrong perspective, so that it is very easier for all of you to remember and understand and munch around for the next entire week. It's okay. So the first one. So it introduces 3 persons, as I already mentioned: Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana and Arjuna. These 3 persons have 3 wrong perspectives which we will learn today, that what are the 3 perspectives that are wrong perspectives in observing this world, which is personified by these 3 personalities. Okay, first Dhritarashtra. We will first recite the first sloka of Bhagavad Gita. This sloka, all of you, one person One person volunteers for reciting the sloka. One person only unmutes. Okay, who is there? Bhavya Jha. You want to recite? Okay. Dhritarashtra. I will recite, and when I complete, then you repeat. Dhritarashtra Uvacha.
धृतराष्ट्र वाचा
Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre.
धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे
Samaveta
समवेतायुत्सवा
Mamaka Pandavaschaiva
मामका पाण्डवश्चैव
Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
किमुकुर्वति सञ्जय.
Okay, anyone else? One more. Dhritarashtra Uvacha
Dhritarashtra Uvacha
Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre
Dharmakhetre Kurukshetre
Samaveta Yuyutsavaha
Samaveta Yeshava
Mamaka Pandavaschaiva
Mamaka Pandavaschaiva
Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
Okay, you see what he's telling. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Dhritarashtra is speaking to his secretary Sanjaya. Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetra. In Dharma Kshetra, in the Kurukshetra, which is also known as Dharma Kshetra, Samaveta means together. Why they have come together? Yuyutsavaha. They want to fight. Yuyutsava means to fight. Mamaka, this is very important. Mera, my sons have come. Pandavas, the Pandavas have also come. Kimakurvata Sanjaya, what they are doing. So, literally, this sloka just looks like a simple asking of a question. But if you take a in-depth analysis, this question also has a perspective hidden behind the perspective of Dhritarashtra. What is the perspective of Dhritarashtra hidden in this verse? The perspective is Mamaka, if you see Mamaka Pandavas. Mamaka, my sons and his sons. So it is important to understand that the most fundamental need of human existence, can anyone guess?
Mine.
Okay, mine. Okay. Anyone else? Attachment. Okay. Most fundamental need. Yes, fundamental need.
Roti kapda makan.
Roti kapada makan. Okay. Or status. Okay, good. My own. Okay. You're not doing the right. It's all correct, but the bullseye. Most fundamental need. Anyone? The more. Okay, huh? Okay, having kids. Why we have kids? Why we want status? Why we want all these things? Happiness. Very good. So we want happiness in life. Imagine your husband or your wife, let's say wife. You ask what's in the lunch, and then there is a surprise. Okay, surprise in the lunch, and then you sit for the lunch. There is roti and dal. And then what's in the dinner? Oh, it's a big surprise. And then you see the dinner, roti and dal. What's in the next day breakfast? Surprise! It's a very great surprise. What's the surprise? Roti and dal. How many of us will die eating roti and dal every day? None of us. But though we don't die taking roti dal, we don't take roti dal because we don't just eat for the body, we eat for
Happiness.
Happiness. That's why we eat Manchurian, that's why we eat pizza, that's why we eat pasta, that's why we eat momos, that's why we eat so many things, because we eat for happiness. We dress for happiness. We can be happy with one color. We can cover our body with one color dress. But we don't do that because we want to be happy. And variety brings happiness, correct? So, we see that whatever endeavors we are doing, the fundamental need for all of us is happiness. Now, if fundamental need is happiness, but we forget that this need is an universal need. So, the first problem or the first wrong perspective that is exemplified in the life of Dhritarashtra is our perspective on prosperity, where we think that individual prosperity, as Dhritarashtra was thinking, मेरे बेटों को, my sons should get happiness, and Pandav जाए भाड़ में, they get lost. So this concept of life, that my happiness is happiness, whatever other have, who cares? This is the first wrong perspective of life. We have to ensure that our individual prosperity should not bring collective adversity. मेरे जीवन का आनंद की तलाश, the search for my personal happiness should not bring anyone's pain. Our perspective to happiness is, if I am happy and I am the only person happy, then that is happiness. Everyone else should be miserable, or whether everyone else is miserable or happy, I don't care. But Bhagavad Gita begins with this wrong perspective. Is Mamaka, my happiness is important, but Syam Narayan's happiness, Bandita Poddar's happiness, Swati Goswami's happiness, Pavas' happiness, or whoever have accompanied, joined for us today in the class, their happiness, who cares? And this is how we see this insensitivity is the cause of all problems in relationships. Yes? The husband is so sensitive about his happiness, but insensitive about wife's happiness, creates conflicts. The wife is so sensitive about her happiness, but insensitive with the happiness of the family, creates problem. The boss is so sensitive about his holidays and not sensitive about the holidays of the employees, creates problem, correct? The teacher is so sensitive about how she enjoys, but she is not that sensitive to ensure that the kids are also enjoying the teaching and making the teaching as entertaining as possible. So we are all very sensitive to our happiness. We understand this is our individual need, but the wrong perspective is that my happiness is my happiness, others, it's not so important. That's how the Vedic scriptures speak about the first mantra, Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, Sarve santu niramaya, Sarve bhadrani paschyantu. Everyone let be happy. Sarve bhadrani paschyantu. Let everyone will have auspicious in life. So this was the problem of Mr. Dhritarashtra, that his thought process was, my individual prosperity or my son's prosperity should bring adversity to Pandavas. And if Pandavas are adverse, in adverse situation, then I am prosperous. वो अगर दुख में है, if he is at pain, then I am happy. Correct? If he is in a painful situation, then I am happy. There were two persons. There were two neighbors, and one neighbor and another neighbor, both were jealous of each other, very, very jealous of each other. And both were worshipping to God to get some blessings. And then God appeared in one person's life and said, I will give you a lot of things, whatever you prayed. But the condition is, because Krishna is also very intelligent, Krishna really wants to purify us. So Krishna said to him, this person, I will give you whatever you want, but whatever you will get, your neighbor will get double of it. If you ask for a car, neighbor will get 2 cars. If you ask for a nice bungalow, neighbor will get 2 bungalows. This is my condition. Now you can ask whatever you want. And guess what the man asked? Let I become blind in one eye, so that my neighbor is blinded by 2 eyes. This is the perspective that Dhritarashtra is showing. Dhritarashtra was not just blind physically, Dhritarashtra was blind spiritually, internally. And that's how Dhritarashtra's perception towards happiness was, my sons will be happy, others who cares. He was neglectful of so much of good advice that was given by his brothers, Vidura, Akrura, Krishna. And in the end, if you see, who was the most frustrated person in the entire Mahabharata was Mr. Dhritarashtra. He lived for his happiness and he was the most number one miserable person in entire Mahabharata. Because he considered his happiness as the singular need and he forgot the collective need for happiness. We have to understand that just like I have a desire to be happy, everyone in this world has a desire to be happy. What right do I have to snatch and steal others' happiness? And if everyone lives in this perspective of Bhagavad Gita's first verse, let us say we don't remember all the 700 verses. If everyone just remains and alive and follows just this one verse of Bhagavad Gita, one verse, first verse, I think there will be no crime in this world. You ask any criminal who has murdered someone, that same criminal who has murdered in our temple, one person comes who is a police inspector or something in some police thana somewhere is working. So then I asked him, just jokingly, playfully, I asked him, ki Prabhuji, you are great, you are in police station, you'd be meeting a lot of thieves and all. And then he said, yes. I said, who is the most dangerous criminal you have seen? He said, there is one person who is now in jail and is really, he has murdered something around 60-70 people and all those, he gives the record and all those things. I said, my goodness, he will be so interesting personality, very fearful. He said, yes, but he has no problem. He's so powerful, this man said, he's so powerful that sitting in the jail only, he can create murders on his behalf and he can take money and by taking money, he is still doing murders through his chela and chapeta, whatever all these he is doing. I said, wow. Then why you are keeping him inside? If inside he is so powerful, outside he will be very, very powerful. Then I asked a very important question. Please hear attentively. He is a criminal. He has murdered so much. Now in jail also he has such connections. He is still doing for money. I asked why he needs this money. You know what the inspector said? He said, Prabhu, he has a family and he needs money for his son. And then I said to the inspector, ki how foolish it is. He is having a family, he is collecting money for his son, but he is killing someone's father and making someone fatherless. So understand, if people follow just this one verse of Bhagavad Gita, I vouch, I guarantee there will be any problems between husband and wife, there will be any problem between neighbors, there will be any problem between boss and employee, because everyone is sensitive for others' happiness. I am not telling all of you remain miserable, and all of you don't endeavor for your happiness. I am telling you endeavor for your happiness. Bhagavad Gita is telling you endeavor for your happiness, but not at the cost of others. Your prosperity should not bring collective adversity. And you will see whether the world will change or not. I vouch you will change, your family will change, your relationship with your husband and wife will change if you just become little thoughtful that is my endeavor today, whatever I am going or whatever I am going to do today, is it going to bring pain either through words, through actions, through thought process, in any way? And don't think by giving pain you will be happy. By giving pain, you will be painful. This is the third law of karma, as Bhagavad Gita will go ahead, will speak about it. How to get rid of this? Because Bhagavad Gita is also going to give solution. This is the problem. Problem is what? We think my happiness and his misery. And his misery is my happiness. So Bhagavad Gita is going to tell the solutions also. But your happiness, rather happiness increases. If I share my happiness, it will increase. If I share pain, pain will also increase. If I give pain to someone, not that I will be happy. You may be happy for some time, but you will be miserable for most of the time. Like Dhritarashtra, like Duryodhana. So the first principle is that individual prosperity should not bring collective adversity. So this is the first principle. Then the next, Duryodhana's state of mind. So we will discuss the next verse from the first chapter. This is now Duryodhana's perception or perspective. Yes. Okay, so this is 1.10, first chapter, 10th sloka. Please, all of you, one person can repeat, only one person. Others mute. Apariyaptam tadasmakam.
Apariyaptam tadasmakam.
Balam bhisma bhirakshitam.
Balam bhisma bhirakshitam.
Pariyaptam tvada idam etesham.
Pariyaptam tava idam etesham.
Balam bhima bhirakshitam.
Balam bhima bhirakshitam.
Up, one more person. Apariyaptam tadasmakam.
Aparyaptam tadasmakam.
Very good. Balam bhisma bhirakshitam.
Balam bhishmabhirakshitam.
Pariyaptam tva idam etesham.
Parayaptam tava idam etesham.
Balam bhima bhirakshitam.
Balam bhimabhirakshitam.
Okay, let's see what the verse says. Apariyaptam. The first one is apariyaptam. Apariyapta matlab, paryapt means sufficient. Aparyapt means more than sufficient. So this is Duryodhana is telling aparyaptad asmakam. My power is aparyapt, more than sufficient. Why? Balam, my power is more than sufficient. Why? Bhisma bhirakshitam. My power has Bhisma. I have Bhisma on my side. It is more than sufficient. Paryaptam tvaidam etesham. But the Pandavas, their power is paryapt, just sufficient. Why? Balam Bhima Bhirakshitam. They have Bhima. I have Bhisma. They have Arjuna. I have Drona. They have Drishtadyumna. I have Drupad. So like that. So Duryodhana was comparing power and he was having wrong perception on power. So we must understand that how Duryodhana is having the wrong perception on power, and he was thinking that Bhisma is there, I am powerful. And understand who is Bhisma. Bhisma was one person. If Pandavas and just mute, everyone mute. Bikram, mute, everyone mute. Yeah, Bikram, please ensure that everyone is on mute. Yes.
Yes.
So Bhisma is one person who was so powerful that the entire 64 crores armies that were assembled in Mahabharata, he was one person sufficient enough to defeat everyone and kill everyone. That was Bhisma. 17 Akshauhini Senas were assembled in Mahabharata, and only one Bhisma was sufficient to defeat them and kill them. Still, this Bhisma, who fought on the side of the Kauravas, was miserably defeated. The way that is shown in the picture, you see Bhisma with the bed of arrows. But this is not just the one truth. The power of Bhisma is not one truth. Definitely Bhisma was powerful. So the first thing we are discussing is that power of Bhisma. Bhisma was powerful. But beyond that, Bhisma had also devotion to Krishna. You would be amazed to understand and learn that Bhisma was the same person who spoke about Vishnu Sahasranam. Every day in the morning in India, we recite Vishnu Sahasranam, correct? So Vishnu Sahasranam is recited by Bhisma when he was in the bed of arrows. So he was such a great devotee of Krishna that he recited Vishnu Sahasranam at the time of death when he was in the bed of arrows. Now the question is, if Bhisma is so powerful and plus Bhisma is so much having devotion to Krishna, he should be in Krishna's side, na? He should be on Pandava's side. Why he was in Kaurava's side? So Bhisma was put in Kaurava's side with a purpose. And the purpose is Krishna wanted to show that even if the power of Bhisma is in the side of adharma, who will win is dharma. It is positivity which wins. It is truthfulness and integrity, it wins. Dishonesty, exploitative behavior, political nature, diplomacy can be convenient for some time. It can be temporarily convenient, but permanently devastating. We may get some temporary success, definitely. It may give some temporary power, but it is permanent devastation. So we must understand. So with this strength analysis, that is the Bhisma, please, whenever I am doing any change, you show the PPT. So if you do a strength analysis, Bhisma had so much of power, but still the Pandavas were victorious, and so much that is the description of the power of divinity of Krishna. In the end of Mahabharata, when everything was over, the war was over, Krishna asked Arjuna, Arjuna, get down from the chariot. Arjuna said, oh Krishna, you get down from the chariot first, then I'll get down. Then Krishna said, Arjuna, you get down first, then I'll get down. Arjuna said, you Krishna, you are God, you get down first, then I'll get down. That is Maryada, that is etiquette. Then Krishna said, if I am God and if I am your friend, you first get down, I am instructing you get down, then I'll get down. Then what Arjuna will do? He got down and Arjuna gets down. And then after some time, Krishna gets down. As soon as Krishna gets down, goes ahead, immediately the entire chariot is burnt into ashes. And then Arjuna was thinking, if Krishna would have got down first and I would have got down second, I may not remain, I would not be alive to get down only. And Mahabharata says, this is a particular chapter in Mahabharata describing this only. And Mahabharata says that this is power of Krishna and this is the power of devotion to Krishna. So we must understand, when we are with Krishna, we have the power more than Bhisma. So Bhima had the wrong Duryodhana had the wrong perspective of what is power. Where is power? We think power lies in taka, money, paisa. And we think power lies in muscular power, money power, or power of fame, power of prestige, power of property, power of bank balance, power of position, power of influence. All these are powerless if Krishna is not there with you. And that's how Bhagavad Gita begins with a question. Yes, what is the question we just now saw? Dhritarashtra uvacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre kima kurvata Sanjaya. What will happen in the war? That was the question. So Bhagavad Gita starts with a question, and the end of the Bhagavad Gita, that is the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita, ends with an answer. So Bhagavad Gita is designed like this. Begins with a question, ends with the answer. And the remaining 698 verses. So first verse, the last verse, and the middle 698 verse. So first verse is the question, the last verse is the answer, and the remaining 698 verses are explanations of the verse. So what was the question? First verse, who will win in the war? My sons will win or the Pandavas will win? Tell me, who will win? And the answer is given in the last verse. Anyone can repeat this verse? Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. Yes.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna.
Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara.
Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara.
Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir.
Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir.
Dhruvani Tirmatir Mama.
Dhruvani Tirmatir Mama.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna.
Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara.
Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara.
Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir.
Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir.
Dhruvani Tirmatir Mama.
Dhruvani Tirmatir Mama.
So you see what the verse is telling. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. So what this verse is telling? Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. Wherever there is Yogeshwar Krishna. Wherever there is Krishna, who is Yogeshwar, who is the Iswar, who is the Supreme Lord. And wherever there is Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, wherever there is Arjuna, Tatra Sri Vijaya, there will be victory. Bhutir, टाका भी उधर ही रहेगा, पैसा भी उधर ही रहेगा, लक्ष्मी उधर ही रहेगा. Dhruva Nitir, principles will also be there. Matir Mama. So there will be what? victory, there will be wealth, and there will be justice, niti, and principles where there is Krishna. So we must understand that the real power is when we are with Krishna, when we are with God. And that is how Bhagavad Gita is going to tell us that if you run your own race, then you are running your own race. But if God is added with your race of life, then it becomes grace. Then grace of God. So Bhagavad Gita is going to teach us how to race your life with God and make it a graceful experience. How to make your life gracious, graceful by adding God to your life. We are raceful. We are racing towards, oh, I have to do something. There is nothing wrong to do something in life. But if we add God in that race, it will become grace. And that's how Bhagavad Gita is also called yoga. Yoga means addition. Addition. So Bhagavad Gita is not deleting anything from your life. Bhagavad Gita is adding Krishna in your life. Bhagavad Gita is not deleting and making life like how I am. Bhagavad Gita is not deleting marriage from your life. Bhagavad Gita is adding Krishna to your marriage. Bhagavad Gita is not deleting job from your life. Bhagavad Gita is adding Krishna to the job of your life. Bhagavad Gita is not deleting kids from your life. Bhagavad Gita is adding Krishna to the kids of your life. So Bhagavad Gita is Yoga Sutra. Yoga Sutra means adding philosophy. Bhagavad Gita is not about deleting things in life. You add, automatically you will become happy. Arjuna added Krishna. So the question remains, as the question has come from Arvind Kumar, how could we understand Krishna with us? That's why 698 verses are there to help you understand. The first verse is the question, the last verse is the answer, and the 698 verses will tell us how to be with Krishna, whether we are with Krishna or not, and if we are with Krishna, how we can enhance our Krishna experience, and if we are not with Krishna, how we can start being with Krishna. And that is how we are so much in anxiety. If we just understand and be with God, then our entire life will become stress-free. And that's how we get into Arjuna's state of mind. Arjuna also in the first chapter beginning, he was also very, very disturbed. You see what Arjuna is telling? My dear Krishna, seeing my friends, my relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, increase the, it's becoming hot. So before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. My whole body is trembling. My hairs are standing. My Gandiva vow is slipping from my hand. Having spoken this, Arjuna cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on his chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. Sometimes we also have situations like this, like Arjuna. कुछ नहीं करने का मन कर रहा है प्रभु जी. बस. Correct? We also want to give up everything. We just don't want to do anything in this world and get depressed. So Arjuna also had a wrong perception in the first chapter. Dhritarashtra's perception was prosperity. Duryodhana's perception was power. Arjuna's perception is purpose. So we were discussing about 3 P's. So first one is Dhritarashtra's prosperity. Second one is Duryodhana's power. And the third one is purpose. Arjuna had misconception about purpose of the war. You see what Arjuna considers the purpose of the war is. This is Bhagavad Gita, 1st chapter, 31st verse. Nacha sreyo nupasyami
न च श्रेयं न पुष्यामि
hatva swajanamahave
हत्वा स्वजनमावहे
na kangshe vijayam krishna
न काङ्क्षे विजयं कृष्ण
na cha rajyam sukhani cha.
न च राज्यं सुखानि च.
Okay, anyone else? One more. Na cha shreyo nupasyami. Okay. Yeah, Arvind.
न च श्रेयोनुपश्यामि
Hatva swajanamahave
हत्या स्वजनमावहे
na kangshe vijayam krishna
न काङ्क्षे विजयं कृष्ण
na cha rajyam sukhani cha.
न च राज्यं सुखानि च.
Very simple. Bhagavad Gita's Sanskrit is very, very simple. Nacha sreyo anupasyami. Pashyami. You see the word? Pasyami means to see. Anupashyami, मेरे को कुछ नहीं दिख रहा है. I am blind. What he is blind? Sreyo. Happiness. Auspiciousness. Sreyo means auspiciousness. I am not able to see any auspiciousness in this war, Arjuna is telling. Hatva, by killing, hatva. You see, Sanskrit words also have come from English. English words also have come from Sanskrit words. In English, we say hit, and Sanskrit it is said hatva. Hatva, swajana mahave. Ahave means war. Swajana. By killing my own people in the war, I don't see any good thing. Why Arjuna is not able to see any good thing? Nacha rajyam sukhani cha. What rajya sukh I will get by killing all my people? So what is Arjuna's purpose of the war? What he is thinking? Why war is being fought? Yes? No.
kingdom back.
To get his kingdom back and to give him the happiness of the kingdom. You see? If you see the last verse, last line, Nacha Rajya Sukhani cha. So Arjuna is thinking that my
Prosperity, power,
Hare Krishna.
purpose of war.
Okay, Swati Goswami, please mute. Yeah. Nacha Rajyam Sukhani cha. Arjuna was thinking that the purpose of the war is to give me Rajya Sukh. To give me Rajya Sukh. So we have to understand, until unless we have the right purpose. Mute him again. It's again unmute. Bikram, please mute everyone.
Prabhu, ask Vishwa Babu to make me a co-host. I dropped down accidentally.
Okay.
And then I'm doing.
This one, make him co-host. Go, he's here only. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, Nacha Rajyam Sukhani cha. The purpose of the war is Rajya Sukh. So Arjuna had this misconception of the purpose, that he was thinking the purpose of the war is to give him happiness. He misunderstood this, to establish him as the king. And that's how in the next verse he says, I will kill so many people, I will get sins. It is just like this, we also have these type of feelings. We neglect responsibilities, we get distracted in life, we want to do whatever our mind says, because we are purposeless in this life. And when by living a purposeless life, we have so much of dangers. We have career instabilities, financial instabilities, we have inferiority complex, we have relationship issues, because we don't understand the real purpose of life. Just like Arjuna was not able to understand the purpose of life, he was thinking the purpose of the war is to give him happiness. Similarly, we also have different our own conception of what is purpose of life, and that's how we are also facing difficulty. And the right purpose is that Arjuna is a warrior. He's supposed to ensure law and order. Some people say that how just see Krishna was so nice. You see, Krishna was such a nice. Sarcastically they say, you see, your Krishna is so nice. This fellow Arjuna was so nicely telling that we should not fight Krishna. He was going away anyway. And this fellow Krishna, your Krishna, and you are telling Krishna as God, your Krishna brought this Arjuna and made him fight, and so many people were killed. Just see, what a nonsense. And you are telling he is God. People think that Krishna was the cause of the violence, but they don't read scriptures. They don't read Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam says the moment Dusasan touched the hairs of Draupadi, that moment Dusasan was already dead. Kacha sparsa kshata ayushaha. This is the direct word from Bhagavatam. Kacha matlab, in Sanskrit, kacha is the khosa bolte hai na, what you say in Hindi, I don't know, but in Bengali, in Odia, they call khosa. The ladies before. Huh? Okay.
I think in Hindi,
Khopdi. Juda is a good word. So the ladies, before going to take bath, they put their hairs like this, otherwise they'll get disabled. So Draupadi had put like this, and he was just coming out from bath, and then Dusasan came to drag her to the assembly. And she first disabled her hair, and through her hair, Dusasan was dragging her to the assembly. And Bhagavatam says, Kacha sparsa. Kacha matlab this Juda. Sparsa matlab touch. The moment Dusasan touched Draupadi's hair to drag her to the assembly, Kshata Ayusha. Ayusha matlab lifespan. That time only he was dead. Krishna didn't kill him. His only activities towards Draupadi killed him. There were 20 lakh people. They were assembled while disrobing of Draupadi. Draupadi is Bastra Haran. There were 20 lakh people that were assembled. All were killed in Mahabharat war. So Mahabharat war is not to make Arjuna as the king. Mahabharat war is to establish dharma, and that's how Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani. Whenever there is dharmasya glani, I come and make such things happen. And that is, we should understand this fact that the violence was not required for making Arjuna as the king. Krishna anyway said that my Pandavas will be happy with 5 villages. It's Duryodhana who didn't give the 5 villages. And we must understand, if we go against dharma, dharma will go against us. And that's how Krishna has come to establish dharma. Why Duryodhana cannot be a king? Imagine Duryodhana becomes the king, hypothetically. Let's say Duryodhana becomes hypothetically a king. And there is some exploitation of a lady in the kingdom of Hastinapur. The lady is raped, the lady is exploited. Someone exploited her. And then the police came to catch that person. What that person will say? Arey Duryodhana was exploiting Draupadi, nothing happened. Why you are catching me? Huh? Correct? So, If the king only is doing adharma, then what is the question what the citizens will do? They will do adharma square plus adharma. So we must understand that Arjuna is refraining from the war with his selfish purpose, thinking that the war is to make him king. The war is not to make him king. The war is to make dharma as king. Dharma is important. And because Arjuna was representing dharma, Krishna made him king. You, any one of you who is there in this class, you represent dharma, you will also be made king by Krishna in due course of time. Krishna wants dharma to be established. Krishna loves you, Krishna loves Arjuna, Krishna loves Duryodhana also. But Krishna will also ensure that he just doesn't love Duryodhana, he loves everyone also. And he will ensure that everyone is happy. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Just like Krishna loves Arjuna, Krishna also loves everyone, Krishna loves Duryodhana also. But Krishna reciprocates his love in a different way. So you must understand God's plan is perfect. Even Duryodhana, it is said in this verse, even Duryodhana, this Bhagavatam verse says, will not recite, that Duryodhana also got higher destination, being killed in front of Krishna. Certainly, others who were fighters on the battlefield of Kurukshetra were purified by the onslaughts of Arjuna's arrows, and while seeing the lotus face of Krishna, so pleasing to the eyes, they achieved the abode of Lord. Even those who were killed in also Kurukshetra, Krishna gave them also higher destination. That is the love of Krishna. But Krishna wants to establish dharma. So Arjuna had misconception about purpose. So you must understand, if one can fight a battle like Arjuna for representing dharma, can we not become fathers while representing dharma? Can we not become mothers while representing dharma? Can we not become students while representing dharma? If battle can be fought, if murders can happen, if fights can happen in a dharmic way to establish dharma, can we not do our job in dharmic way? Can we not do our business in dharmic way? Can we not become someone's father, mother, daughter, son, sister, brother in dharmic way? So Bhagavad Gita gives an exaggerated, exceptional situation to show us that in this such an exaggerated, exceptional situation, if someone can fight for Krishna, someone can work for Krishna also easily. It's easy, na? To fight and murder someone for Krishna, and to do business for Krishna, to work for Krishna, to be someone's mother for Krishna. It's easy. So Bhagavad Gita clarifies the purpose of life. And that's how we see that power of divinity, Arjuna accepted the power of divine, and that same power of Krishna is available for us just like sunlight. Sunlight is available for all of us. And problem is, if we don't go out of the room, can we get sunlight? Bhagwan ki kripa, Krishna's mercy, Krishna's love is not monopoly of Arjuna. It's not Arjuna has the monopoly on Krishna's love, on Krishna's power. It's not the Pandavas have monopoly. Every one of us can get Krishna's love. Krishna's love is like sunlight. To the extent that before beginning of the war, Krishna went to Karna also. Krishna went to Duryodhana also, told that, "Arey, don't fight. Let's resolve." Still no one listened. So Krishna loves everyone. But just like if we come within a room and close all windows and doors, we will not get sunlight. So we need to access Krishna's love. We need to come outside to get sunlight. We need to access Krishna's love, and that's what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to access Krishna in life, how to add God in the race of our life and make it graceful. So we will see in the remaining 698 slokas as we go ahead from next class. We will see various sections. We will see 5 different things Bhagavad Gita is speaking about. Bhagavad Gita speaks about only 5 concepts. We will see in the next 5 classes, we will see these 5 concepts, and the last class we will do as a conclusion. So we have 2 classes gone. We will see the 5 classes in between, the 5 concepts of Bhagavad Gita. The first concept is this body is not all in all. The second one is this life is not all in all. The third one is this time is not all in all. This world is not all in all. We are not all in all. So these are the 5 concepts that Bhagavad Gita speaks about. 5 philosophical concepts which we can apply in our life in this entire 698 slokas. So please bear with patience. Please keep on attending these sessions, and we can learn these 5 things. So to summarize, today we discussed about 3 misconceptions or wrong perceptions or perspective that we can have in life. The first one is perspective about happiness and prosperity, is that my prosperity and his adversity both are same. His adversity is not your prosperity, and you should be sensitive that your prosperity doesn't bring his adversity. That was Dhritarashtra's problem. Duryodhana's problem is my wealth, my prestige, my position, my power, my money, my property is my power. Right power, all power, everything lies with the most powerful Krishna. He is the giver of power. He is the taker of all power also. So Duryodhana had wrong conception about power, and Arjuna also had a wrong conception about purpose of life. He was thinking that the purpose of life is for me. Purpose of life is to serve Krishna and do everything on behalf of Krishna. And you do your job, you do your life, anything with Krishna, you'll be happy. And you do it for yourself, you'll be miserable. That's what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Bhagavad Gita doesn't teach us that don't do things. Bhagavad Gita teaches us do it with the right purpose of pleasing Krishna, for the pleasure of God, on behalf of God. And how to be with God is what Bhagavad Gita will teach us in these 5 philosophical concepts, which we will see in the next 5 sessions. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Are there any questions people can ask?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dandavat.
Okay, is there any question in the chat?
अभी थोड़ी देर पहले आपने कहा that Yudhishthir, the moment he touched a hair of
Yudhishthir nahi, Dusasan.
Sorry.
Don't make Yudhishthir.
Duryodhan. So the moment he touched a hair, he was dead. But was it not wrong on the side of the Yudhishthir that he was gambling first of all?
Yes, it was completely
he
wrong.
went to the extent that he put his wife, he treated his wife as a a small thing which he can lose or win. And then the root cause is that Yudhishthir को ऐसा क्यों करना पड़ा? Because Duryodhan को क्यों करना पड़ा? Because Yudhishthir lost his wife. So isn't it very shameful for a Kshatriya to do this?
Yeah. So what lessons we can learn from Yudhishthir's fighting in the and participating in the gambling match? So when Krishna heard for the first time that gambling match happened and they lost everything, Krishna said to Yudhishthir, just jokingly, Yudhishthir, you ask everything from me, even to whether you should pass number 1 or not, but such a big thing you didn't ask. So the first lesson we learn is that even if we have superiors, Yudhishthir actually went for the gambling match because his superior Dhritarashtra said. But he forgot that Krishna is the superior, most among all superiors, he is God. And he checks with Krishna for everything, but he didn't check with Krishna for this thing. So this is first mistake. We should understand superior is there. Imagine someone's father is telling, kill that person. Will you kill him? You should also weigh dharma. So that was the first lesson that we can learn from Yudhishthir's life, that he didn't weigh dharma rightly. Krishna was personally present in earth right at that moment. He didn't check with Krishna that Dhritarashtra, my father, is my uncle is who is fatherly figure for me, is asking me to play this gambling match. And Dhritarashtra also said to Yudhishthir that this is going to be a playful match. Don't worry. So Yudhishthir agreed, but he didn't check with Krishna. He should have checked with Krishna. So first is, he didn't took permission of the Supreme Lord. He used to take permission for everything. He didn't check this. The second one is the power of distractions. We can understand how powerful is this distraction of gambling. Even person like Yudhishthir can get distracted, and how much we should be careful in not getting into all these things. If Mr. Yudhishthir, who is Dharmaraj, Yudhishthir is Dharmaraj, he is the incarnation of Dharmaraj, Yamaraj. He is getting affected with distractions. How much we should be careful. So we may criticize Yudhishthir, but understand, don't criticize Yudhishthir. Glorify or appreciate the power of distraction and put Dandavat Pranam. Put Dandavat Pranam, to put obeisances to such power of distractions. It's very, very powerful. The material energy Bhagavad Gita speaks in the 7th chapter, Krishna says, is very powerful. And we have to handle material energy with caution. We have to be careful. Surashya dhara kabayo badanti. Those who are intelligent, they say it is walking on razor's edge. Kshurashya dhara. Anytime, if you are not careful, there will be bloodshed. So especially these distractions, we have to be very, 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 very careful. We should understand the power of distractions. And the third one we understand is when these Pandavas, they come, these are Krishna's own personal associates. They come with a purpose along with Krishna to enact a drama, to teach the world certain things. So in one level, Yudhishthir did the problem, but in another level, Yudhishthir is just enacting a drama to teach the public a lesson, to teach the audience a lesson. So these great souls, they come along with Krishna and they go with Krishna to different universes, create such drama, and through that drama and sensation, they give different life transforming lessons. So if there is no sensation, there will be no one coming for the drama. Which movie people go? Where there is violence, where there is some problem, where there is some, oh, what happened? Someone's wife was disrobed. Oh, let me go and see the drama. So they create such sensational drama with a purpose to give us life transforming lessons. So just like if a actor in the movie is killing someone, is he convicted for it? No, it is just a drama. So in similarly, Yudhishthir Maharaj, in order to solve the purpose of the Lord, he is trying to teach us these first two lessons. What is the first lesson? No matter how intelligent we may be, we must consult. Always consult. Never think you are too big. Yudhishthir Maharaj failed consulting Krishna in one time. You see what danger happened. And no matter whoever you are, understand the power of distraction. So the power of permission and power of distraction. We must understand, we should always take permission, consultation. We should never think, oh, I am so buddhiman, so intelligent. All of you will also understand, like I understand, I have been practicing devotional service, spirituality last 18 years. Even now also, whenever I need to discuss and decide something in my life, I do consultation with my superiors. So we must understand, we should have some mentors, guides in our life, well-wishers in our life. Or at least we should consult with our life partner, we should consult with our well-wishers, someone we should consult before taking any decision. This is arrogance that Yudhishthira Maharaj is teaching us. And second one is definitely distraction. Is this clear? Does that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhu, absolutely.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. One more thing, Prabhu, in the first verse, you said that Dhritarashtra was, acting selfish by putting his side and the Pandava side separately. But is it also not justified that way, that since it was beginning of a war, so being a Kshatriya, it is very right to think about winning the game?
Who said Dhritarashtra was Kshatriya? If Dhritarashtra would have been Kshatriya, how did he arrange for the gambling match and spoke lies to Yudhishthira that this is just for a joke? When Dhritarashtra is a Kshatriya, Kshatriya's main purpose is to protect women, and in front of his own eyes, his daughter-in-law Draupadi is getting disrobed, and he was peacefully seeing the match like a cricket match. And he's a Kshatriya? What Kshatriya is he? Kshatriya is one whose blood will boil when he sees some woman getting exploited, when he sees some child getting exploited, when he sees some old people getting exploited. And he will give his life to stop that exploitation. He is Kshatriya. You should understand, when you use the word Kshatriya, what is the definition of a Kshatriya? Dhritarashtra's life does not describe him as a Kshatriya. He is Kshatra Bandhu, he said. Kshatriya Bandhu. He is born as a Kshatriya, but he doesn't have a qualities like a Kshatriya. The qualities of Kshatriya is protection. Protection of women, children, old people, protection of cows, protection of Brahmanas. These are the 5 people protection the Kshatriyas have to give, because these 5 people are generally get exploited by other people. Women, they get exploited, children, they get abused, cows, they get animals, they are weaklings, animals need protection. So they need protection, and Kshatriya is supposed to protect. Their blood should boil when something, and they should not exploit. Just like what a Kshatriya in front of his, not even other lady, his own daughter-in-law is getting disrobed and he is watching the cricket match, fun, and he's a Kshatriya. He's a nonsense guy. So he's not a Kshatriya. And that is why he is so disturbed. A Kshatriya is never disturbed with war. Rather, he feels very nice. Now war has come. His hand is always itching for the war. Okay? So, does that answer your question? With all respect to Dhritarashtra, later on Bhagavatam says he got transformed. He understood his mistake. With all respect, all glories to Dhritarashtra. But at this moment, at this juncture, Dhritarashtra is nonsense. Later on, he got nice. Okay? Yeah.
Sir, Prabhuji, you told that we must understand the purpose of life. But how we should understand that purpose of life for the normal family person, those who are doing job, studying, and all the stages of life, they are doing it. But exactly what is the purpose of life?
So I said in the end that we will discuss about these 5 things. From that it will become clear. So Bhagavad Gita speaks about these 5 things. You have to take the entire 5 sessions. Next 5 sessions is on that only. So Bhagavad Gita speaks about these 5 purposes that we will see. The this body is not all in all, this life is not all in all, we are not all in all, world is not all in all, time is, situation is not all in all. Okay, in these 5 purposes, 5 things Bhagavad Gita speaks about. We will see in the next 5 sessions. Okay, every session will talk about one purpose.
Yes, probably one more question. How to add dharma in our life? Generally, when we are doing any job, if we are doing in the right way, is it the dharma that we should consider it is a dharma?
Yeah, there are dharmas in different levels. For someone who is an employee in a company, the dharma can be that he should, till the time he is in that company, he should not go against the company. He should be loyal to the company. He should not try to do something wrong for the company. So that is dharma. For someone who is a mother, the dharma is to take care of the kid. For someone who is a father, the dharma is to take care of the wife and children and all those things. So dharma at a level. So there are 2 types of dharma that Bhagavad Gita will speak ahead in the karma section, swadharma and parodharma. So during that discussion, we will discuss about what is swadharma, what is the dharma of the body, and what is parodharma, what is the dharma of the soul, based on our identity. And we will also discuss about the definition of dharma. We have heard so much, dharma, dharma, dharma. What is dharma? So we will also define dharma as Bhagavad Gita Krishna has defined. So we will discuss on this. This is slow and yeah.
You said that we should add God in our life.
Yeah.
But in a Grihastha life, we are doing most of the time we are giving to our family. So how can we add, like in that state of mind, how can we always, like we are doing this for Krishna, how can we think about that?
Yeah, so how you can think about God in every time life? Did you had, you got married, you said you are a Grihastha, right? You got married.
Yes.
So
Yes,
how many years you have got married?
It's 8 years. So
8
it's
years.
9 years.
So this is 2000. Which year you got married?
14.
2014 was your year when you got married. Did in 2013 you knew that this girl is the girl whom you will get married?
No problem.
And when you got your child?
2018.
18. So did 2014 when you got married, did you knew that this child will come to your house?
No problem.
When you don't know something and you get something, what is it is called? You don't know and it comes. You don't know what it's called what?
By God's grace.
Gift.
Love.
Gift. Don't speak about grace, big words. It's a gift.
Yes.
Imagine in your house you receive some parcel. You don't know who has sent it. You receive the parcel and you open. It's a brand new iPhone 14. What you will call that iPhone 14? Gift.
Gift. Yeah.
So exactly in the same way, we didn't know that she will be my wife. We didn't know that she will be my daughter or son, and we got it. So who is giving these gifts to you? If someone has parcel you iPhone 14, someone has parcel, na? It has not come just like that.
Yes.
So similarly, if in this way we can see our wife, children, job, everything as gift. So many people get into engineering. Many don't get job also. You got some job. I don't know whether you are an engineer or not. You get some job. So who is giving you that job? You were not knowing that you will get job in this company you got. So we have to understand that we are getting gifts. And we don't know how we are getting gifts. There are many people who study very hard than us. But they don't get job, we get job. That means it's a gift.
It is. Yes.
So when we understand it's a gift, then we'll understand that it is whose gift. Then we will see the connection of God in life. That's how in the first session we saw, count the blessings. Make a counting. Always write down what all blessings you have got. First you count the blessings, then automatically you will ask the question, who gave me these blessings? There is someone working in your life behind to give you all these blessings. That's why Einstein said a very interesting thing. Miracles, I'll show it and I'll write it. Miracles are God's way to remain anonymous. So this is what Einstein has said. Miracles, we see so many miracles in our life, blessings in our life. These are God's way to remain anonymous. So these are God's anonymous gifts to us, surprise gifts to us. And when we recognize this, we will recognize Krishna's grace in our life. Okay? And further we will see also in further sessions, in different sessions, we will see more clarity in this question. But as of now, right now, this is the answer so that you can understand. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think there is Nupur and Gyanes. You have one question? Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
This is Ganesh. Yeah. So my question is, in the journey of life, what happens is you get so engaged with yourself, your own identity. You probably miss that opportunity to sort of disengage or detach your identity with yourself and bring God in front. So when you said that give everything to the God and let Him drive your purpose of life and everything, because me being a karta, just wanted to bring that thought as to how we invoke God, above us and let Him drive. While it is very, very difficult, I have tried it a couple of times, not being able to get even closer to it, because when we get engaged, we get so engrossed towards it that probably we don't have an opportunity thereafter. So our ego takes over the body karma and this person who is dealing with that opportunity.
Yeah, very good, very good. It's a very, very thoughtful question. One clap of hand for Ganesh. It's a very thoughtful question. Yeah, very good. That means you are really serious about it. So understand one thing. You can project. So our ego, it's not dissolved through spirituality. Spirituality does not dissolve our ego. It doesn't say to dissolve our ego. It says to distill our ego. It tells us how to purify our ego. It's not that after reading Bhagavad Gita, Gyanes will not be passionate to work. That is not the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna was so passionate, so passionate. It's not that after hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna forgot that he is warrior. He worked more vigorously than he used to work, because now he understood the purpose. Like for example, give me mobile. Where is my mobile? Yeah, okay, mobile. So this is Bhisma's mobile, who takes care of my video settings and everything. Now this is Bhisma's mobile. Now when I got it from Bhisma, I will be more careful to use it than my mobile. Why? Because I know this is his. It is his. This is what Bhagavad Gita transforms. I will be passionate to take care of my mobile, but I will be more passionate to take care of Bhisma's mobile, because I know this is someone else. So similarly, Bhagavad Gita helps us to understand this is Krishna's purpose. This is Krishna's gift, my wife, my children, my son. This is Krishna has given me the job. So Bhagavad Gita doesn't speak about detachment. It speaks about more aggressive attachment in the right direction. So we have to understand that it will not dissolve your ego. Detachment means dissolution of your ego. Maybe you have got some conceptions about that we need to detach. We don't have to detach. You have to attach more better way and interact in more better way in this world. And how it has to be done? There are various principles. These, as I said, these 5 principles have to be known. But the foundation behind this principle is you do not have to dissolve your identity as father, as working person. You have to purify it. You have to distill it by understanding that this company or this business was there, which I was thinking my business, this is Krishna has given me. I have to be very careful. So this understanding and belongingness is the foundational principle of Bhagavad Gita. And then the practical things of how to do this on a practical level, we will see on these 5 sessions. On practical level, okay, theek, there is understanding of the body and the soul, there is understanding of the karma, and there is understanding of the mind, there is understanding of the world, how it functions, there is understanding of the gods and authority and hierarchy in this world. So these are the 5 understanding Bhagavad Gita gives. But all these 5 understandings are practical tips to do what you are telling. And we do not have to worry that when we get engrossed, we forget God. We are not forgetting God. It's not that remembering God just means that you are always thinking about Him. Remembering the purpose of God is also remembering God. When you are working in a company, when a software programmer is working with a code, it's not that he has forgotten his wife. It's not just that he is working so vigorously so that he can get some money to take care of the family and bring some gift for his wife. So remembrance is not that, मेरी दिलरुबा, मैं तुम्हारे लिए क्या कर सकता हूँ, चांद भी लेके आ सकता हूँ. So it's not that Gyanes, you have son and daughter?
Absolutely, I have a daughter.
Yeah, you have a daughter. And the daughter says to Gyanes that, Papa, I want a mobile, a smartphone. And Gyanes says, oh, I love you beta so much, I love you beta so much, and you are crying, and I love you beta so much. Papa, phone, I love you beta so much, I love you beta so much. Papa, phone, I love you so much. I have so much of emotions. Emotions are there, but without actions, they are simply baseless, correct?
Correct.
So Bhagavad Gita is going to add the right emotions, right purpose to our actions. Don't think that after Bhagavad Gita, our actions will become powerless or will become less passionate. We'll have to redirect our passion, our actions in the right way. So in this way, you have to understand that Bhagavad Gita will help you to act in the right direction, vigorously. And while vigorously working, if you don't remember God, there is not a problem because you are remembering the purpose of God. If you keep on remembering your wife while writing the code, I don't know what will happen to the code. But just because you are not remembering your wife while writing the code, does that mean that you don't love your wife? You still love your wife because you are writing the code, you are doing the job for the purpose of your wife, for the purpose of the family. So in this way, remembrance is not just about just chanting the names of God. It is more about living a life of purpose for pleasure of God. Okay, and as we go ahead, we will see these 5 principles, which are practical principles of how we live a life for the purpose of God. Is clear?
Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Arvind Pandey, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, just want one clarification regarding why Dhritarashtra was not killed at the end of Mahabharata, because he was one of the key players for what do you call
because he was not a Kshatriya and others were Kshatriya. And the Kshatriya principle is, if someone doesn't come for a war, you cannot kill him. He's a civilian.
Okay.
Though he was not a Kshatriya, but others are Kshatriyas. Arjuna is a Kshatriya, Krishna is a Kshatriya, and he didn't come for the war. He's a civilian now. Civilians were not killed in those times. Now the war dynamics are different. Civilians are killed, soldiers are happily dancing. And the military people are happily dancing. But because Dhritarashtra chose to be a civilian, he was not killed. If you would have gone in the war, definitely you would have got also in the war memorial of Mahabharata. Okay, thank you. Next, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Yes.
Is this Mahabharata a true story or just written to teach lessons about the characters?
Very good question. Very good question. So Mahabharata is not a written story. Mahabharata actually happened, and it is documented history. It is called Itihasa. Itihas means a documented history that happened, and from the documented history, the lessons we are deriving. Now, the modern terminology and how we read history is more of a informative type, data oriented learning of history. But Vedic historical studies were based on lesson oriented. We learn something from history. It is said that if you do not learn from history, then history will ensure to teach others through your life. अगर आप इतिहास से सीखेंगे नहीं, इतिहास आपको मुद्दा बना के दूसरों को सिखाएगा. So history is meant to teach you some life lessons. So it's the original history. It happened, and there are a lot of archaeological expeditions that has happened in Dwaraka, in different places, that proves that Mahabharata war happened, that proves that Dwaraka was existing, that proves that there was a submerged city in Dwaraka which got submerged. So everything is documented with archaeological proofs that 5,000 years before that was happening. Plus, on top of it, there are the constellations that are there. And the scientists have found out software which can mark the constellations. So if you tell the date, let's say 25th January 2024, if you put the date in that software, then a particular constellation will show. And you wait for 25th January, that same constellation will come. So this software is there. So what scientists did, they backtraced. You understand backtrace? What they did, they fed a particular constellation mentioned in Mahabharata. Mahabharata says that when the war began, a particular constellation was there. This moon was in this nakshatra, this was in this nakshatra. So they feed in the software this constellation, and they try to backtrace what date is coming. And exact date what Mahabharata says came out. So then it is correct only, na? You are able to understand. I don't know, it's little technical, scientific.
But Prabhuji, some characters are very miraculous characters, like Bhishma, who has Ichha Mrityu.
Yeah, correct.
And many such which is shown like miracles.
Yeah.
Then Bhishma was born from a Ganga. These things are, it is difficult to
understand. Correct. So there are certain miracles that are shown in Mahabharata which is difficult to comprehend. Miracles, there are right now also a lot of miraculous personality. There was one person who is right now existing, who has not eaten for so many years and still alive. And there was one doctor whom I had met, and he said that he had gone to Himalayas to do some medical camp, and he checked. He was an orthopedic doctor. He checked one yogi, and he was shocked. He said, "Prabhu, I was shocked." I said, "Why?" Now this body which I was touching and examining, mostly this is more than 200 years old, minimum. I said, "How can you say?" He said, "Prabhu, I know the bones, I know the structure of the body. These bodies are not of this age. This is more than 300 to 300 years old." And I asked this person again and again, how old are you? He said, I don't know, I have seen so many things. He didn't say anything. So miraculous personalities right now, this is not miracle. For you, it's a miracle. This, if you do not know the technology of this mobile, it's a miracle. But if you know the technology of piezoelectric effect and the silicon semiconductor, it's not a miracle. So understand, in Mahabharata, there was a personality that is mentioned called Maya Danav. So this Maya Danav was saved by Arjuna. So when Maya Danav was saved by Arjuna, Maya Danav wanted to offer some gift to Arjuna. Arjuna asked, what do you want to give me? Maya Danav said, I'll give you Jantra power, machine technology. And then Arjuna said, before taking anything, I take permission of Krishna. So I will go and ask Krishna. So Arjuna comes to ask Krishna that Krishna, Maya Danav wants to give me machine power, the knowledge to get machines into power. And Krishna says that machine technology is the inferior technology which I have reserved for Kali Yuga. Right now, mantra technology is a superior technology. You already have a superior technology. Don't get into this inferior business. This is mentioned in Mahabharata. So what technology we have is also miraculous, Baba. If you don't know this technology only, it will seem miracle. Wow, how it is working? It is switching on, it is switching off, and it has a smartphone. For someone who was using the landline phone, mobile was a miracle. For someone who was using mobile, smartphone is a miracle. For someone who is using the smartphone, Apple Vision Pro, and doing like this is a miracle. So just because you do not have the technology, for you it's a miracle. But previous times the technology was there and it is not a miracle for them. And these technology, why they are going away? Because our minds are becoming more and more disturbed. To use this technology, you require a lot of mental concentration. As our minds are becoming distracted and we are losing mental power, these technologies are also going away. Previously, people used to remember all the phone numbers, so many phone numbers. Right now, they don't even remember their own phone number. Why? Because our mental power, memory power, everything is going down. So understand in that way that these are just because miracles are there, that doesn't prove that Mahabharata didn't happen. And Ganga, Bhisma's, as you mentioned as an example, Bhisma was son of Ganga. So Ganga is not just a river, Ganga is a personality. And so from the person, another person can take birth. And under the charge of Ganga person is the Ganga river. Just like you have a house. It is whose house? Who asked the question? Are you there? Hare Krishna? You're there?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have a house. It is your house, right? You are still different from the house. So similarly, Ganga and Ganga river, they are different. That river is Ganga's, personified that river. She is in charge of that Ganga river to take care of that river. So in that way, you understand that that's how Bhisma took birth from Ganga. But these are all actually have happened. Okay?
Maybe the way these are shown is
yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's true. How they are portrayed, they are portrayed on a very sentimental basis, superstitious basis in the movies, in the way it is. But it is a technology. It's a technology. Right now also, if you really take charge of your mind, you can do so much. Forget about that. I see my life 18 years before, how my mind was functioning, and right now how my mind is functioning. Completely different. Very sharp. It has become very sharp. I can understand my change in my life, how my mind has changed, how my memory has changed. I met one person one year before. And when I met, that day was that person's birthday. And that was the only time I met last year. And one time only I met last year. And next year, I met him and I remembered his name. I remembered that I met him on his birthday. And then he was so shocked. Prabhu, it's miraculous. I said, what's miraculous? Memory. Just because you don't have that and I have, that doesn't mean that's a miracle. So, and it's not that I was having this memory. It's not that I was having this mental strength. This is the power of spirituality. So understand, it's not a miracle. We don't have it. That's why we don't know it. That's why for us it is becoming a miracle. Okay? It's scientific, it's purely scientific. And there is an entire wing of our ISKCON called the Bhakti Vedanta Institute. And we have lot of scientists, lot of scholars. We do lot of research in this direction. Don't think that we are just brainwashing people, and we are not. We are all intelligent intellectuals, fully doing research, and we can have a lot of scientific explanations of it, but it will take a lot of time. But understand that the way it is portrayed, as you said, in the movies industry, it's not a scientific presentation of Mahabharata. It's a cultural representation of Mahabharata. It's not wrong. I'm not telling that the movie industry, how Mahabharata is presented, it's not wrong. It's a cultural representation. It's not a scientific presentation. So that's also correct in one sense, but on a scientific basis, realistically it happened. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you mentioned the significance of Bhisma's position.
I have a question, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please tell.
Just the curiosity, since Mahabharata is being discussed.
Yeah.
Not only Kauravas suffered as they were not presenting dharma. Pandavas too suffered a lot.
Yeah.
They have lost their very closer ones, and Draupadi, who had been extremely blessed by Krishna, but she had lost her own children.
Yeah.
Several children.
Correct.
But why? Why? Draupadi had always been the medium of, what to say, means everything happened because she was inflicted pain, humility and everything. But why did she actually had to suffer?
Yeah.
That's
so this topic is elaborately described in the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita tells about, out of the 5 things, one thing is, this world is not all in all. This world, and beyond this world, there is another world. And our expectations of this world is wrong. This world is designed to do all these things. No matter whatever you do, you may be like Pandavas, still you may have to suffer in this world. Because even if you don't want to suffer, you don't want to give suffering, still there are people who will give you suffering. It's not necessary that you have to suffer only when there is karma. Like some people say, when suffering comes, bad karma, Prabhuji, bad karma. What bad karma Pandavas have done? What bad karma Draupadi has done? Nothing. They are pure devotees of God. But still they have to suffer because you are put yourself in a place where lot of Duryodhana are there. It is your mistake. So that's why in the 8th chapter, after telling the entire philosophy, Krishna says to Arjuna that Arjuna, don't stay in this world. Come to my abode, where there are Yudhishtirs. But if you place yourself among the Duryodhanas in a place, you will definitely get suffering, whether you have karma or don't have karma. So that is the entire elaborate explanation that is given. We will learn in the session, this world is not all in all. That's the session title. Okay? So we will discuss on this.
So, one request, sir, after
Yeah.
Prabhuji. Actually, after we will be over with this session of Gita, if the authority can also arrange for one such session regarding Mahabharata.
Yeah. So definitely. So I can plan. Yeah. So Mahabharata actually is a very big thing. We will see what all topics. And see, Mahabharata also has one thing, that Mahabharata happened in a different culture. And right now the culture is different. For example, gender roles. Mahabharata happened where the gender roles were different. Right now the gender roles, gender expectations are different. Mahabharata happened where the social dynamics were different. Right now the social dynamics are different. Mahabharata happened in an age where political dynamics are different. Right now the political dynamics are different. So Mahabharata has to be taught with lot of caution. Otherwise Mahabharata teaching can create terrorism. So we have to be careful that Mahabharata is taught with lot of caution, because the society has changed 5,000 years. And it is not that copy paste the principle. Oh, Mahabharata says this, Swati Bose has to follow like this. This will not work. So it's a very sensitive subject matter, and definitely we will take up on Mahabharata. But first we will learn about Bhagavad Gita basics, then we'll learn about Bhagavad Gita advanced, then we can touch upon Mahabharata and certain things which require little maturity to understand. Because as you said, there are a lot of questions that will come. And why these questions are coming? Because there is a cultural difference now. The culture was different, now the culture is different, right? So right now if a girl is humiliated, there is no Krishna now or warrior like Arjuna to protect. The girl has to go to the court. This is the unfortunate situation of today's world. Can we just say that find out a Arjuna? If no Arjuna is there, oh girl, you be happy with your exploitation. Can we say like this? So culture has changed. So according to the changed culture, we have to see how Mahabharata's principle can be applied. And since it's a different cultural representation, we have to, definitely we can read about Mahabharata, but in little later stage, after we have understood certain basics of spirituality. Okay, maybe after this basic Bhagavad Gita course, then we'll have an advanced Bhagavad Gita course, then we can understand Mahabharata. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes, I think there is a question in the chat box that we will see. Thank you. You mentioned significant Visma position, said keeping Krishna as valiance of victory. And Adharma predict the influence of Adharma to be more prominent. People having more money will have more prominence. How to understand that we need to follow Dharma if scriptures only mention that in Kali Yuga, following Adharma will have more prominence? Yes, scriptures speak that in Kali Yuga, adharmic people will become powerful. Adharmic people will become more prominent. So they may become prominent, they may become powerful, but that doesn't mean that Dharma will become powerless. So they may be prominent, but it is Dharma which will win. And the same scripture that you are referring to, the 12th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which speaks about the verse, exact verse as you are mentioning here, is Bittam eva kalau nrinam guna dharma guna adaya. So Bittam eva kalau nrinam, power will define everything in Kali Yuga. That's the verse in 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And adharma will become powerful, prominent in Kali Yuga. But in the same chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, it also speaks about where is Dharma. Dharma is there by chanting the holy names of the Lord, Kalau Hari Kirtanam. Dharma is there by reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So one who does that will be protected by Dharma. That is also mentioned. So it is mentioned that adharmic people will become prominent, and it is also mentioned that how you can be protected from the adharmic people. That is also mentioned. So tips is also mentioned about how to remain protected. So follow the tips of Bhagavatam. What is the tip? Chant the holy names of God, Kalau Tad Hari Kirtanam, and read Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam. So that's the tip that is there, that you can be protected. And we can see how Krishna is protecting us. And he will protect your mind, he will protect your body. The protection is always there. Though the prominence of adharma may be there, but you will be protected. Okay? Hare Krishna. I think we'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.